What's going on, everyone? We're back with a brand new video, and let's go ahead and dive into today's topic. So the guy you see on your screens there is none other than Jason Whitlock, known for saying many ridiculous, outlandish, and flat out crazy things. So on one of his recent shows, he talked about Angel Reese and the WNBA and her potential impact on it. And so what I'm going to do right now is play the comments that he had to make, and then I'm going to come back with my take and my reaction to them. So without further ado, here is Jason Whitlock.
I got a new nickname for Angel Reese. She's the gift. She is the gift that just gave the WNBA women's basketball its greatest boost in the history of the WNBA. And this is why there's so much hatred and animus and jealousy towards Caitlin Clark and this new group of young players. What Angel Reese did is actually healthy for the WNBA and women's basketball. Angel Reese made it cool for women's basketball players to be women. I'm sorry, I would much prefer this than Brittany Griner showing up in a suit and tie and looking like Little Pronoun in that picture. I don't want to watch a bunch of tall Megan Rapinos. People don't want to see that.
So there you have it, the comments of one Mr. Jason Whitlock, and he's somebody who, as I may have said it earlier, I can't remember, who I disagree with vehemently on a great number of topics. Now, when it comes to this, however, he's not completely off base, actually. I know you probably weren't expecting me to say that, or anybody with a functioning brain to agree with Whitlock, but hear me out here. And I say this because, one, considering what the WNBA was like in its inception and in its early years, which I guess you could make the argument it's still kind of in those early formative years, if you will, as opposed to what it has been for the past decade or so. And from talking with a lot of people who watch the league, and this is not just men, but men and women. One of the complaints, if you will, the common refrains is that one of the reasons they either don't watch or stop watching is because they said, well, I don't like the mannish looking women running around the league. They said, if I want to watch that, I will watch the NBA. And I've heard this over and over and over again by enough people to come to the conclusion that at least for a segment of their fan base or former fan base, they hold this stance. And we've heard, and I think Candace Wiggins has said it. I want to say it was her, that she said that there was the perception or the thought in the league that in order to kind of be seen like the men and get paid like the men, they thought they had to act in a more masculine manner. And that was, I guess, one of the reasons that you see that. I guess perhaps you could say societal. You have overall, well, I won't say overall, but more and more you see some women behaving in a more and more masculine manner and men behaving in a more feminine manner, and that could also play a role in it. But I want to kind of stay on topic here. So you do have that. There are a deal of fans that think that, and that it turned them off. And so, and when you know Angel and Cameron Blink and Cardoso and all these this influx of new talent that has come into the league, that's one of the things, because like I said, I cover collegiate women's basketball, and that's one of the things when people would I would have conversations with fans, and that's one of the things that they would say, that it's good to see girls in the WNBA that are more feminine. I mean, that stance may ruffle a lot of feathers. However, there are a lot of people who think that they're, and to the WNBA somewhat, I'll say this, I think they somewhat leaned into it to kind of being out there, because I look at some of their previous advertisements, and you would know, like, there's several commercials that I would watch that you would not know that was an advertisement for a women's professional basketball league. It was talking about everything else but what happens on the court. So I can kind of understand a little bit of where they're coming from, and how, that for lack of it, for femininity being injected back into the WNBA, that can draw some eyes, because whether we like it or not, you see it more from women watching men's sports, but you have women, they'll watch, because you think about it, if you're looking at basketball, it's a bunch of muscular guys who are running around essentially in shorts and tank tops. And there's some women who watch the NBA for that very reason. There's some attractive guys out there. They're sweaty. They're in, well, these days, shorter shorts and the tank tops, and which is what a jersey is. And so they like that. You have some people who watch football for the same reasons. You got huge guys in they don't wear many pads anymore, but the tight pants and the jerseys are smaller, and so they can watch that from a sex appeal standpoint. Unfortunately, this is going to sound bad to say, but there's some truth to it. For a large stretch of the WNBA, you couldn't really say that. And so, because you have this influx of, let's just keep it real, attractive women, that's going to make people watch. It is what it is, unfortunately. I know we're in a society now where we have to tiptoe around these subjects, but it is what it is. If you've got a basketball league full of attractive women, more people are going to tune in. It's just what it is. I mean, have the women of previous eras had skill? Absolutely. But there's some people who want to tune in and see a more aesthetically pleasing player. And I'm sorry, that's just what it is. So, I mean, it's not like Whitlock he didn't pull this out of his butt, though a lot of the things he says clearly come from his sphincter, it seems. So, yeah, it's unfortunately now this is viewed as a wild take, but it is what it is. So, with that being said, what do you think about the comments of Jason Whitlock? Do you think he's way off base, as he is so many of the time? Do you think he has a point? What are your thoughts on it? Let's have a conversation about it in the comment section. And as always, thank you for spending a few moments with us. And I know I hadn't said this on previous videos. I don't even ask people to subscribe and like. But I do want to thank everyone who's been watching the channel. I've been keeping up with things. I've noticed the uptick in views, and that probably has come from me being more consistent. And I noticed the uptick in subscriptions and things of that nature. So I did want to take a few minutes at the end here to thank everyone who takes the time to watch the videos. I said I try to put thought in them. I try to make the content entertaining and informative, and something that you would want to watch. So I do appreciate that. And so with that being said, I want to thank you. And if there's any topics that you would like me to discuss or cover, or things of that nature, my social media outlets are in the description. So definitely hit me up, send me a message, and I'll see about making that happen for you. But with that being said, I'm going to end this video. And as always, thank you for spending a few moments with me. And be sure to tell the ones that you love them. Peace.